Posted my engagement photos. I thought I would have some family and friends and my lovely followers here congratulate me and celebrate this new season of life. But what happened is our engagement photos went unexpectedly viral, and we had a huge onslaught of racist comments. We got comments from the Black community criticizing Nick for being with a white woman. We got comments from white people and other races saying I was ruining my bloodline, which is absolutely disgusting. And we got tons of comments talking about how I'm going to end up being a single mom, how we're going to get divorced, how this is disgusting. And I guess we just live in a bubble in California, but I never thought that that would be something we would be dealing with our engagement photo announcement. Was starting to...
You know what this is. This is Thoughts of Dizzy right here on the Epic Lounge Network. I had to cut in there for a minute because this is a loaded conversation, especially with the race tensions being high right now in the country and all over social media. People that used to be closet racist are no longer closet racist and now redefining racism and everything else, right? What I will say is that I am also from California, and no, sweetheart, you are not living in a bubble. It's just maybe you are starting to see a lot more of the ugly sides of the world. And the reason why I'll say that is because even in California, with California being so diverse and there's so many different ethnicities that are dating and married and a lot of mixed kids and all of that stuff. It's a very mixed environment, very diverse here in California. I still have experienced racism being from California and living out here my whole life pretty much. And, you know, from elementary school, it's just a part of society. It's not okay. It's one of those things that's just part of society that a lot of us wish it wasn't there. Now, I'm gonna get more into my point, but I just had to address that part because, yeah, even right here in California, there is a lot of racism, and they are in usually the odd areas. That's where you'll get the obvious energy versus kind of having to figure it out. But yeah, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna let her finish.
Take a toll on my mental health, and so I decided to take 2 months off of creating content full time and reevaluate my boundaries with social media. The reason I started creating content in the first place is I didn't see representation of us and our family and our lifestyle. In my mind, it's just the modern day relationship. When I go to the store in the San Francisco Bay Area, I see tons of mixed kids and mixed families. And
she is correct. I wanted to go ahead and I wanted to cut in there real quick because she did mention that she wanted more representation, which I'm going to be honest, I have seen a lot of representation, even on TV when it comes to mixed couples, especially, you know, black man, white woman. I see a lot of commercials. It's usually the black woman and the white man, but I've seen a lot of representation, not saying, you know, that I'm calling cap on her, but I have seen a lot of representation of mixed couples from on the entertainment level to, you know, social media. A lot of these couples pranks pages, a lot of them be mixed people, black man, white woman, or Latina or whatever. So that is a thing that is not saying that she didn't have to do that because there's plenty, but there is a lot of representation and she wanted to add her contribution to that as well. I wanted to make a point because she has a few more seconds and then I'll really take a deeper dive into the conversation. I wanted to make a point, and you guys can challenge me on this and you can either agree or disagree. It's okay. We can talk about it in the comment section. It does seem like the most criticized couple is when it's a black and white relationship, when it's a black man with a white woman or a white woman with a black man. I do believe that the black man with the white woman gets a whole lot more hate than the other way around, a black woman with a white man. But that's just my take. It does seem like when black and white people date, it is the most controversial dating relationship out there. But I'm gonna keep it going.
And I wanted to bring more of that to social media. So when I was reflecting on where to go from here and what boundaries to reassess, I am going to show less of my partner on social media, but we both agree that it's important to continue showing up and having representation, and that the hateful commentary on our engagement post, it is an indicator of a society that is so sick and divided, and our presence here is important and necessary.
She is spot on. She's correct. That's unfortunate that people can't really share their joy without somebody there to piss on it. What I will say is that yes, sweetheart, definitely show your family less. Not because of that. I am the same way. And before y'all try to jump in the comments, my wife is black. Nice try. But I am the same way about my family. Matter of fact, it's to the point where if I care about you, I'm probably not going to post you. You know, my kids, my wife, other family members. Now, if they're public figures, then, you know, ain't no sense in me trying that. But even things I care about, I've never posted money. I've never posted my cars, you know, when I was happy about whatever car I was driving, never posted my home. I don't flex things that I have or believe that I believe is valuable. And I'm not ashamed of any of it. I love everything that I keep away from the world because I love it is why I keep things away. I've just seen too much negativity. I've seen people talk about people's kids, which is disgusting. Just some of the things I've seen, you know, like the Nicki Minaj and the Cardi B situation when Blue Ivy was first born. People are really ruthless, but I also understand that people are emboldened because they get to hide behind a screen. Most of these people talking would never say these things to people's faces because if they did, they would do it in public to random people because they don't have nothing to lose. You know, there's a lot of cowards online by definition, by the way, a lot of cowards. What I will say is just judging off some of these photos with her and the brother. Now, the brother in this photo, I like the fact that he's who he is, right? He looks how he looks with this woman because when I think about some of the sisters and some of the brothers that would clown a brother like him for dating outside the culture, these are the people, he's the type of person that would get made fun of. His fit, his glasses, his build. That's what we love to do in our community. We love to laugh and joke and give each other a hard time, but we are brutal. I don't see anybody bigging him up unless he was a big name in some form of entertainment or finances, you know, or he was just valuable to the country in some kind of way. That's the only time we kind of pump the brakes on the disrespect because of the accolades and the notoriety that we have in our community. And it's sick. I hate that part of our community because it also shares a part of the way we laugh and our creativity and giving each other a hard time and bagging on each other or however you say it, wherever you're from. Right. So I could just take a look like right here with this brother. A lot of the women that wouldn't go 50-50 with a man or, you know, he got to work full time. He got to make more money than me and understand I'm a boss and and all that stuff. Right. I don't see those women picking him unless he had money like that. Because he's not flexing. Looks like a regular black dude, just, you know what I'm saying? Probably like reading books, going to the library, probably is really good at doing gardening work or whatever it is. Probably a physicist or something. I don't know. But I don't see those type of women with high standards going at him just because of his swag. And I have proof. Check out the balloon pop reaction videos I've done, right? So then when he gets with a white girl and he gets married and he looks like he's happy and he's flourishing, it's an issue. I could bring, you know, I might hit some of my homeboys up that are in an interracial relationship and interview them. If y'all would want to see that, put that in the comment section. I might bring some of my homeboys that are in interracial relationships and have them share some of their experiences. Not to say what led them to be in an interracial relationship, but their experiences because of being in one and what their experiences was like when they were trying to date our own. And it doesn't say, and not to say that there's anything wrong with sisters. That's not the case. My wife is black, so it ain't got nothing to do with none of that BS. But what happens a lot of times with some of these dudes is they don't feel accepted by some of the women that they going for in the community. Now, we can't sit up here and say that, oh, we need to pick better women. Sometimes it's not about them being bad. It's just for some reason, they don't want to accept that. Maybe it's the way they were raised or whatever. But a lot of brothers don't feel accepted by women in the community. And it doesn't mean that white women or anyone else is, you know, the rebound because of that. But maybe it's because, oh, I met this girl who happens to be a different race and she accepts me and makes me feel like she wants to know who I am and go somewhere on a long-term level as far as a relationship. That's all. As far as the white side, I already know there was during the segregation, and the segregation years and Jim Crow, as well as the civil rights movement, black men and white women, just interracial, it's always been a problem. I don't know if it'll ever go away, honestly. I hate to sound like a pessimist, but the truth is that's how I see it. It enrages a lot of white people that are racist, a lot of prejudice, racist, bigot white folks. It really, man, it burns they ass when it's a brother with one of them. And in our community too. There's some older people in the community and there's some sisters that's having a hard time being in a serious relationship that bash. But the crazy thing is, let me talk about black folks, right? I got to talk about the black folks on this one. We will rally behind some of our entertainers not knowing who they're with, and then when we find out who they're with, we mad. James Earl Jones has been highly respected in our community, very well loved, had all the iconic voices. Darth Vader, Mufasa from Lion King. He's covered every generation before he passed away, from Gen Z to boomers to millennials to Gen X. Everybody has had a favorite thing about James Earl Jones. Whole time we known him, he was married to a white woman. Now, there's some people that found that out and they had a problem with that. And, they say the little weird things that they say. But yeah, it's always been there. Derrick Rose is very respected and very loved, especially in Chicago and especially from a lot of black folks in that are into sports. He's married to a white woman. His kids are biracial. And then there's some of the sisters that champion interracial dating when it's a woman. Eve is married to a white billionaire. Serena is married to, I believe, a white billionaire. Y'all gonna have to get over it. It's never going to change. Whether you are prejudiced on the black side and racist and prejudice and everything else on the white side, it's never gonna go away. I think it's unfortunate that couple is going through that. But I definitely give my advice to those that are dating and, you have a lot of things going on in your life and you happen to be a content creator or like to post a lot. Protect what's yours. Don't show your babies. Don't show the things that you love. You can show the things that you really like or favor, but try your best to be very private with the things that you love, because the world is a very nasty place. And also, just like you have a lot of people that hate you, you also have people that hate on what you do because they're not doing what you do. Yeah. You're married and they're not, and they're miserable. They mad. I don't like anything that they do. And you could tell. You could tell when people are hating on you, because you could be posting things that you really love and work hard on. People won't like it or pay attention to it. But the minute you talk about some stuff you went through, or you did something big that everybody doesn't see every day, that they don't see every day, yeah, they in the comments and the likes, they watching your story, and you know how it goes. But let me know what you guys think about this situation with this couple. Does she need to toughen up? Is that how y'all feel? Do you feel, hey, it just comes with the territory? I don't feel that way. But let me know what you guys think about some of the things that she's went through and some of the comments that they've gotten, and what your thoughts are on interracial relationships. What triggers these different people that hate and can't stand interracial relationships? You know what it is. Been tuning in to Thoughts of Dizzy right here on the Epic Lounge Network. Until next time, peace.